slings like the water through the water like nothing.
Amid the COVID-19 shutdowns and social distancings, we're having to do something a little bit different. So we're going to take this time to do our first gear review, and in this one we're going to do a spear gun review. And the gun that we're actually going to be reviewing is going to be a custom wood gun made by DMC, or Ocean Spearfishing Supplies. So Dean up in New York, he made 3 guns like this for us. I have a blue one, and Michael and David have a wood grain one, and then Tony has a pink colored one. So we made all 3 of them at the same time. They're the exact same, different colors. That's the only difference. So we're gonna do a review on these in case anybody's interested in doing like a custom gun. You can get with Dean. I'll put all of his details down in the descriptions for you to get in touch with him. Whenever we asked Dean to make them, he said he'd never really made guns like this. So this is a fusion roller, and it's actually like an 80 centimeter gun. So our conditions here are kind of weird, where we've got horrible viz up top, great viz down bottom. Sometimes we've got top to bottom viz. We're always hunting artificial, so fish tend to stick pretty close to them. So we can use smaller guns and still get big fish on them. So whenever we contacted him, kind of told him what we were looking for, and we had asked about a fusion roller. He said he'd never really done that before and a gun this small, but he was more than happy to do it for us. So we gave him some specs, gave him some measurements and things like that, and he was able to push out this beautiful, beautiful gun. Dean did a great job on this gun. You can see he's got the custom handle with the grip on it, this gorgeous DMC label on the back. The reel is a really awesome reel. I love it. You can adjust the drag on it. You can see here that the bands are pre-tensioned. I don't store it like this. I just did this up for the video. But you can also see up here on the shaft, it's got a little cheater tab. He had that put on there in case we just wanted to load the top band. We wouldn't be blasting it into this hole with full power. So the shape of the gun is amazing. It's almost like a cuddle shape. It's been machined so that the bands fit very tight to the actual wood itself, so you don't have a lot of drag whenever you're pulling it through the water. You can see that the handle fits amazingly into our hands. So with the pool test out of the way, next weekend we were able to get out into the Gulf and try and get our first fish with these guns. So I'm going to show the videos of the first 2 fish that we were able to get with them. David was using him and Michael's gun, which is the wood grain gun, and was going down on a coop. We were in about 70 feet of water. And as he's going down, you'll see there's a ton of life, there's a lot of fish, and he sees a mangrove snapper that's pretty big, but he leaves it alone and actually goes for one that he has a better shot on. And this one was still pretty big. So he was able to get a great shot on it. He shoots through the fish into the sand, and with that spear shaft, it prevented the fish from swimming back into the coop, which was a huge, huge benefit. It was such a great thing that he did, because we've had a fish get wrapped up in a coop before, and getting these things out of a coop is pretty difficult. So he made the decision to skip the bigger fish, go to one that was a little bit smaller, pulled the trigger at a great spot, and it prevented the fish from getting into the coop. When he surfaces, the top current was pretty bad, so you can see Ian swimming straight over to him, make sure he's good, checking him, doing your 30 seconds on the top, making sure he's okay. David was good, give him the okay sign, he's off camera. So Ian helps him get back over to our float and our line, so that way we can get the fish up onto the boat. As you can see, the top current was horrible that day. He gets the fish up there, he hands the line to David, who then pulls this gorgeous, gorgeous mangrove snapper. I think this thing was like 27 inches, I think right under 10 pounds. And man, it was a great fish. It was such a good decision to shoot that one as opposed to the bigger one that was on top of the coop that he would have had to shoot through into the coop, and it probably would have ran into the coop. But a great fish, a great first fish on this gun.
You're at 3 minutes now.
I was able to take the duck dive, and whenever the top current's pretty bad, we kind of just aim for the flasher that we put down there, and then once we get to the flasher, we then change course and try and dive bomb straight on top of the coop. I see a nice trigger, and when I see these fish and I have my eye on one, I stop kicking. and I just go into a slow descent and EQ the whole time that I'm going down, and then kind of get my gun pointed at them and try and follow them a little bit. And you see here, when I see that fish, I'm able to get that gun right on them immediately. And as soon as he goes clear of the coop where I think I have a good enough shot, I go ahead and take the shot. Put him out. Gorgeous shot. Amazing shot. That fish didn't move. This trigger actually ended up being almost 21 inches and is probably, had it been an inch or two bigger, it probably would have been a world record. There's not a world record for trigger on Speargun yet, and this fish was very close to putting it there. So I went ahead and grabbed the fish and pulled it up, just because of that top current. I wanted to come up straight on top of or straight under our float and go ahead and be able to grab it. I actually hadn't even realized how big the fish was yet until I look under here. And once I'm able to get my hand on the float and get my gun and everything, I take it back to the boat and hand it up to Michael. But man, these guns handled so well. We're really, really excited to keep shooting fish with them. We're really excited to get out there where the top current is not that bad, where we can really put these guns to the test. We're super excited to go hit some of our bridge rubble and pyramids with it, where right now we've got our mackerel moving in, and the chances of us getting some big fish with these guns are great. And it's going to be happening soon. It's going to be very, very soon when all these fish are moving in. Red snapper season starts opening in another month or two, and grouper open up, and that's, oh man, we cannot wait to be able to put some red snapper and some grouper on these guns. But again, thank you, Dean. We love these guns, absolutely love them, and we cannot wait to see what other fish we're able to get with these.
Huh? Dude, great. You think it's 10 pounds?